Hello everyone in Cyberland! I bring to you a fantastic game between Sutovsky and Narkev and was played in 2009. What's so special about this game? Well, Sutovsky is not as well known, but I've noticed that he did start playing chess when he was 4. He had quite a few good positions, leadership positions, so that took some time off. He actually had some quite high results a few years ago in some tournaments. So yeah, Sutovsky, he did some brilliant move here that I want to show you. And without further ado, here we go. Um, Very interesting play of how to capture a queen. So let's look how Sutovsky did it. You ready? Let's go. Let's roll. So, of course, Sutovsky is white. It was at the tournament Karpov-Poikovsky tournament in 2009. All right, here we go. We go with e4, e5. You have notation on the right, if you can see, you can follow that. Then we go to knight f3, knight f6. That's we are going to the Petrov defense. Knight takes on e5, d6, knight moves back to f3, knight takes on e4. Okay, let's look at this position. Not much really going on here. It looks like even white is behind in development, would you say? Look at black is almost at the white's door. But how did Sutovsky rescue this situation? He doesn't seem to be that developed. Looks like black has one more pawn developed. So let's see. Crucial move. d4, taking the position there, opening up the bishop line there. d5, moving in to block any additional movement for the d to continue. Bishop to d3, continued attack, although it is defended by the pawn on d5. Knight c6, so now we're just moving into development. And white castles, so Sutovsky castles. Is black able to castle? Not at all. Not at all. And yet we are in the 7th move. They say by the 10th move you should castle. It looks like Sutovsky made it. Open up that line quite well by moving that pawn to d4 and then moving the bishop. So now he looks like he's ahead of, well, let's see if he's ahead of development. Well, they're basically even, but he evened it out. Very interesting. And he managed to have a castle. See? So he's not losing tempo. And black has not done that. Bishop to e7. Very conservative move there. Rook to e1. Continued pressure on that knight. Bishop to g4. Now pressuring the other knight. So it's pinned. The f3 knight is pinned. If he moves, you're going to get the queen, the white queen. So Sutovsky moves on with a pawn move. c4, attacking the d5 pawn, which is only protected by the queen. Okay, next we go to knight f6. Okay, we see that. Interesting. Did we see that moving back? He's moving back. I don't know. Unless he has some plan. Moving back is not good for tempo. Knight c3. Okay, now we are continuing to pile up on the pawn there that's only protected by the queen. Knight takes the d4 pawn. So let's look at what's going on. C takes that pawn. But it is still protected by the knight, do you see? Interesting, very interesting here. When you move, you want to have movements that are, the next move will still have some protection. It's not all itself. You know, all alone, naked out there, no protection at all. It is covered by the knight. The knight on c3 is covering the pawn on d5. Bishop takes on f3. So decide, I want to get rid of this queen, get her out of there. So Sutovsky, no problem, I'll just take you with a pawn. Okay, now the white king is exposed, ladies and gentlemen. It is exposed. So would you like that? You'd be kind of nervous, no? It is exposed, but let's see what happens next. c5, protecting that knight. Okay. d6, attacking the bishop. Queen takes on d6. Okay, let's digest all of this. What's going on here? Let's digest this position. Let's see how Sutovsky is able to maneuver himself out of this and do an interesting queen trap. I don't know if at this point he sees this, because it's only move 13. We wonder at what point does a player see the plan. Okay, at what point? We shall see. I'd like to interview him and ask him, at what point in this game did you see you could trap the black queen? Knight to b5 is attacking this queen. He's eyeing the queen at this stage of the game. He is eyeing that queen. Queen retreats to d7. Knight moves back there to take on d4. The pawn takes on d4, so we are now really clearing up the playing field. Very open. We got the queens on the board still. And let's see what happens next. Queen goes to e2. King moves out of the way, kind of uncomfortable that the queen and the rook are staring on the e-file, so he moves out of the way to f8. Bishop to b5, attacking the queen again, so he's eyeing this queen. Queen to d8, moves back. So suddenly I think black is feeling nervous. Couple moves back there. Queen goes to d3. Okay. Is that pawn being defended, the black pawn on d4, is the black pawn being defended by anybody? Do you see? Just the queen, correct? Just the black queen is defending that pawn. All right, we go with h5 for the pawn there. Now he's attacking the knight with bishop g5 move. Okay, it's another pin if you want to protect the other bishop. So it's in a way it's a pin. Look at this interesting position. Queen to d5, attacking both bishops. The g5 is not protected. The bishop on g5 is not protected, while the bishop on b5 is. Okay, what's next move? So he's now protecting. Sutovsky is able to come in time to protect that bishop. So bishop, black bishop moves back to d8 to protect those squares there. Queen goes and takes. Queen goes and goes to a3 check. And king goes to g8 to get out of the check. Rook goes to e5, and there we have it. The other party resigned. And do you see why? Do you see how this queen is trapped? Isn't that just flawless? How in the world did he do that? Okay, the queen is now attacked. Where can it go? Can it go here to e6? No. So this is a study of how you trap a queen in the middle of the board. How did Sutovsky do that? Imagine. It kind of was like a waning Okay, like a waning situation, like the moon has its different waning type of stuff and coming and going, and here it is absolutely like, where did he come up with this? But here it is. The queen cannot move to e4. The queen cannot move to c4. The queen cannot move to c5. The queen cannot move to c6, and it's unbelievable. So by losing this queen, you're definitely, behind, and the game is, with correct play, uh, should be winning for white. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the point of this study is to show you how I think he had a highest level of 2700 or 2701 or 2 or like that. He also had one tournament was pretty high, 2900 something in a tournament. So look him up. Check out more of his games. Sutovsky, look at this absolutely gorgeous queen being trapped in the middle of the chessboard. I mean, beautiful. You want an example of something like this? This is a player that has done so and has had other successes. One has won other tournaments, but just is a study and just perfection here. Just perfection. How did he do that? Go back and study this and study that and study it. At what point do you think he had this idea? At what point do you think he figured out that he could make this happen? At what point? Put your comments below and let me know what your ideas are there. Thank you so much. Hit like and subscribe. We'll see you with the next video. Continue with that chess game study, and these beautiful games. Just great. Thank you. Au revoir.